A gallery in Fort Worth asked local artists to create art using the exhibition's title for a prompt. It's called Good Morning, Mourning, America. The intention is to foster artistic expressions that reveal the tension, heartbreak, and hope of our current cultural and political climate. They say the response has been tremendous, and I'm excited to introduce you to Elizabeth Wills and Elizabeth Martin. They are co-founders of Emergent. They're here to share some of their favorite pieces from this multimedia exhibit. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you so much.
This is fascinating. I stumbled on this online and thought that the whole idea of Good Morning, Mourning, America was going to kind of foster some interest, and it certainly did. But I want to find out from you, what does it mean to you? What was the intention behind the ask in the first place?
I think, when we look at headlines every single day, a country divided, right? Mm-hmm. And words sometimes fail us as human beings. Art is a way that we can bridge those divides. And so a reflection that people were excited after the 2024 presidential election, or excited and unhappy, or feeling sorrow or grief, seemed like a great opportunity to see if we could bridge that divide, because we all love our country, right? And so using that as a prompt, that was the only prompt to the artists. We wanted to see what the response was.
You bring up a good point, because even though we're in this kind of divisive time, there is one common denominator among most, I would say, is the devotion and our love for the country.
Right.
And I think the vitriol that goes behind some of the concerns or frustrations or the divisiveness that we're experiencing in our country is because of those passions. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about what kinds of art people will be seeing in this exhibit.
Well, we got submissions for visual art, which is photography, painting, sculptures. We also got incredible poetry and essays and prose that was very moving, and then original music pieces. Scores written. There's an orchestral piece that's just stunning that actually won the top prize for the music section. A rewrite of the anthem, national anthem. It's stunning. It's a cappella, sung by a Latina 5-piece quintet.
That's incredible.
Gorgeous. Oh, it was just amazing that the amount of talent in this state, but also the expression and the artistry that is here, that really just opens the door for conversations and a pause.
The pause, I think, is important.
Right.
Because it allows people to stop and reflect.
Exactly.
And not be so reactive. That's what art does, is that you really are kind of forced to stop and take it in versus just, shouting. Because nobody listens to anybody shouting. Okay, so let's also talk about the artists. Tell me about what went in the process of selecting which artists were going to be exhibited.
It was really important that we felt that the experience not be so catalyzing on either side, that we pick pieces that represented closer to the middle, but across a continuum at the same time. Because we didn't want to be in people's faces about it. We wanted to have people with art get that distance and allow a different perspective to come in. And so we selected the pieces with that in mind. And that, again, art, music, and the poetry and prose.
Well, you brought a selection here that does represent different types of medias. Can you kind of explain what we're seeing here?
This is Maurice Passius. Yep.
Yeah, and so it's a photograph. It says, "I need my parents as much as you." It really evokes what art often does, is that empathy, right? It's a different perspective. It may not be one you house, but it personalizes it.
Okay.
It talks about our common humanity. This piece here,
Liz King.
Liz King. This is Mount Rushmore, and you can see the huddled masses of the Statue of Liberty, the indigenous population represented.
What's up with the rooster?
It's a reflection, again, symbolism of the indigenous population that is also part of our community and our humanity.
All right, and then this piece too, I think, is pretty powerful.
It is. It's hope, and two themes really came out across all the artwork: hope and grief. Wow. Those were very powerful human responses.
Continuous, regardless of the
over.
media. That's okay. So, what are you hoping that audiences are going to take from coming and seeing this exhibition?
One of the things I feel like that we both felt like we're lacking right now is sitting down with your neighbor and just having conversation. And as you said a minute ago so beautifully, that art creates that space.
I think you bring up a really good point. It's hard for us to sit down, but that's the only way we're going to get something. We're going to be able to move forward.
Continue
is if we
conversations.
listen and we reflect. Ladies, thank you so much for bringing this
Thank
to
you
our,
so much.
our awareness. We really do appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, to learn more about the Good Morning, Mourning America exhibit, visit gallery440.com.